and ain't nobody touching the president of Burkina Faso.
The West is really coming hard on Ibrahim Traoré, but Africans are rising. African Americans have opened their eyes, and they are in defense of Ibrahim Traoré. Ladies and gentlemen, people across the globe gathered in defense of President Ibrahim Traoré. As you can see in the video, people from all over the globe, Jamaicans and Africans from different countries who are currently abroad. And in this video, it is in France. On 30th April, they were marching on the streets defending for Ibrahim Traoré.
This is how you know this is the greatest president they ever lived. They having a mega rally all over the world. Everybody is supporting Ibrahim Trio. You hear me? We gonna be live in Dallas City Hall on the 30th, man. I'm not playing with these people. Boy, I'm about to put on my red, my black, my green, and we about to take to the streets, and we gonna be the real ninjas that we supposed to be, and let them know that we support Africa, because guess what? Those are our brothers, our sisters.
I'm so happy seeing him. Everybody coming together. I'm so happy. Everybody. The Ghanaians, the Nigerians, the Cameroonians, the Jamaican, the Black American. I'm so happy everybody coming together for this fight. Because this fight is not just for the Burkina Faso alone.
As an African-American woman, I am so proud of President Traoré and so happy for the people of Burkina Faso. I want to state for the record that African-Americans have nothing to do with any assassination attempts, any destabilization of the country, or any criticism of President Traoré. I don't know any American, and I don't know every American, but I don't know any American that even knows who General Michael Langley is. I actually just found out who he was 2 days ago. But when you see black people being put in a position like that, and then turn on their heels to criticize another leader in another country, that is by design. And they do not speak for us. They are ruining the reputation of African Americans globally, making people think that we feel this way. We have our own problems in America.
But Vladimir Putin, this is what I'm talking about, man, when I say get my president real support. Because one thing about it, man, I love to see what the West is doing over there. I love to see them being able to build and take care of themselves. I love how they getting free health care. I love how they ran them cowards from France right back to where they came from. Real talk. This is what you call a real president. This is somebody that I would be honored to serve with, honored to serve for. Real talk, man. I understand why they hate your guts so much, because they don't like it when we real and we melanated, and they know we stand on business, and every day we put our life on the line to make sure that our people can wake up and live better, and that our kids can have a better future. Our grandkids can live the life that they supposed to live and don't have to keep being a slave to this system. Woo! That's why I love you, man. You hear me? Ibrahim Traoré, you are my hero. You and Mello, man, between y'all two, I don't know who I love the most. He a soldier, but you are a true leader.
These are the 3 reasons they want to remove him by all means necessary. He removed a puppet president from office. He closed down all the French military bases in Burkina Faso and sent their soldiers back home. He changed the percentage of equity the Burkina Faso government had in the mining companies in Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso's military government said on Monday that it had foiled a major plot to overthrow the country's gentle leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Security Minister Mahamadou Sana said on state television that plotters included current and former soldiers and terrorist leaders. They had planned to swarm the presidential palace on April 16. This is just the latest attempt to overthrow Ibrahim Traoré after he seized power in the 2022 coup. His military government had pledged to fight jihadist groups and had even sought support from Russia, but security threats persist and 40% of the country remains under jihadist control. Mahamadou Sana said that the coup attempt aimed to sow total chaos and place the country under the supervision of an international organization. He also claimed that the plot instigators are based in Ivory Coast. Last week, Burkina Faso authorities had already arrested several military personnel accused of planning to destabilize the government.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, is all over the internet, especially on YouTube. And this just comes a few days after he has survived another attempted coup. This is the 5th attempted coup that has been made by some of his enemies to overthrow him. This coup just came a few days after one of the US generals known as General Langley, who is the current commander of the United States Africa Command, or rather AFRICOM in Africa, issued a statement alleging that Ibrahim Traoré is using the gold reserves in Burkina Faso to enrich himself at the expense of his citizens, which many people are coming out to say that this is not the truth.
Imagine a situation, though, in which the ruling elite of a country is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traoré and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime.
AFRICOM's General Langley there. If you notice, he never did say who the regime were using the gold reserves, their gold, by the way, to protect them from, did he? Any ideas who Burkina Faso, with all that gold, would need protecting from? I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. And you can't say what's happening here is racist or anything like that because it's Africa, because as you can clearly see, General Langley is black.
I've compiled several videos of people giving out the history of Burkina Faso and what Captain Ibrahim Traoré has been doing to his citizens. These are some of the videos before we come back and talk more about this whole situation.
Our country has long been in a very complicated system. Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight or we remain slaves forever. I told you once, there are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other. Because every situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So you must advise each other and not pay attention to certain remarks, even on some media. Not everyone is obliged to be patriotic. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the homeland. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writings, you must close your ears and move forward. As for those, we will fight them here. So, we must remember something. Recently, there is a so-called NGO. It's not even an NGO. Because NGO stands for non-governmental organization. They are not non-governmental because they are funded by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports claiming that the FDS and the VDP commit abuses. It went in here, it came out there. It's to tarnish your morale. It's to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Moreover, we are going to file a complaint against this NGO because people need to understand something. What is happening to us here? It's true that they have manipulated part of our populations in the Sahel here, but they didn't have that kind of weaponry. What brought such significant weaponry into their ranks? It's Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It's this NGO, the same NGO that made false reports and gave them to those who wanted to create a rebellion so that people would intervene and overthrow Gaddafi. And the powder keg ended up being poured into the Sahel. These millions of lives that have been taken in the Sahel, we must file a complaint against this NGO because it is responsible for these false reports it made to support this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us. Look at the world. Let them go defend human rights all over the world first before coming here. We are fortunate to have similar situations. In this world, you voluntarily committed yourselves. There are countries where people are forcibly taken, killed. You leave or you die. Others, even while trying to flee, end up dying. They don't talk about human rights because these people see us as subhumans. They see us as slaves. That's how it is in their minds. They have never changed their mindset, but it's up to us to show them that we are not slaves and we will never accept this state of affairs. So don't be fooled by the stories. They tell to anyone who will listen. You must stay focused on your fight. Stay focused. We know what we are doing. And even now, the VTP commander told me that there is a human rights training session underway for group leaders and their deputies. If we make efforts, we know it's for ourselves. We no longer do things to please someone else. We do it for our homeland. And you are committed to that. Defend your homeland. Do not listen to those individuals. They should not affect your morale. In the history of the world, there have been wars. And during the Second World War, people organized themselves to defend all over the place. But there is a country that could not defend itself, which had to come and take our ancestors to go defend them. And today that same country wants to give us lessons. The pot calling the kettle black. No. You are the descendants of those same ancestors who went to defend others, who liberated the world from Nazism. Today you are fighting for your lands. These same individuals dare to create terms to tarnish you. We oppose this. We will never agree. Continue to defend your lands. It is your wealth that interests these people. It's our gold, it's our minerals that interest them. Otherwise, why come and drive out entire villages to seize our lands? So we will fight and we will reclaim our lands, our wealth. It belongs to us. It's for us. It will benefit us and our children. I therefore encourage you to remember that this war is to free us from slavery. It's for our independence. And you must keep your spirits high, stay strong. Never give in to manipulators, to those individuals who no longer understand the notion of homeland, or to those people who come from outside to try to subdue us through their terms they invented and their organizations they created to enslave us. Fight, move forward, do everything you can. Draw, as I said, from your cultural resources, from what you have been shaped by since the village. Draw from it and wage this war. Stay focused.
What is really happening in Burkina Faso is a revolution that I believe that the entire continent of Africa can emulate. I mean, when you have a leader that really cares about his people, he makes sure that he delivers. Guess what? Will you believe if I tell you that the entire country of Burkina Faso could only boast of 3,000 kilometers paved road from independence till now? Will you believe me? Will you believe me? I mean, a country called Botswana could boast of 3,000 kilometers when the British left them. But the French left, a government came to power. See, that's a construction going on. A government came to power for over 27 years. How old is this country?
The country, the independence since 1960.
1960?
Yeah.
And the country could only boast of 3,000 kilometers.
3,000 kilometers, I'm telling you.
Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. As Wodimai was saying, since the independence up to today, we had just 3,000 something paved roads. But now, with the coming of Traoré, they are planning to pave 5,000 kilometers per year. This is insane. This is unbelievable.
How are they achieving that?
Yeah, they bought all the equipment because the government doesn't want anymore to let any company be in charge of this. So they bought all the equipment to do it by itself. The government is in charge of building all those roads that you can see.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. As you guys, maybe some of you saw the equipment coming from Ghana.
We'll take a look at this. These vehicles are moving from Ghana through to Burkina Faso. Yes, you heard me right. The military leader, that is Ibrahim Traoré, is moving all these vehicles to Burkina Faso. These combined harvesters, tipper trucks, whatever. We're actually just going to Bolga, and then we found a horde of these vehicles traveling to Burkina Faso. Just imagine you have these kind of leaders all over Africa. You can imagine the kind of progress we will make as Africans. Just look at these. We actually drove, and then we get to a part where you feel like, oh, this is the end, and before you realize there's an extension of the vehicles. These vehicles are countless. They are so countless, and I just want to say a big shout out to Ibrahim Traoré and then the people of Burkina Faso. They've got a lovely president. We love him all over Africa, and he's actually doing his best. I actually wish and hope that even if an election is held in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré would get the opportunity to stand to be elected as president, and the good people of Burkina Faso would do the needful and choose him. Just imagine, look at the number of tipper trucks all over. You can't. I think the other time we found a horde of this machinery for his tomato factory he was putting up, and this time round is just a horde of vehicles, tipper trucks, whatever. Thank you. Shout outs to Africa, Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré.
So the equipment are here. The government is taking care of constructing or building the roads, because sometimes they give it to private companies and they take forever to finish some roads. So the government is now taking care of building the roads with their own equipment and everything. So that's what's happening.
And one of the most exciting thing about this whole road construction in Burkina Faso, the fact that the government bought all the equipment, trained the youth to operate this equipment. So literally, it's the people of Burkina Faso building the country for the people of this beautiful country.
The country is under construction.
Burkina Faso indeed is under construction, because I am here and I'm seeing roads being constructed. I am here and I'm seeing factories being built. I am here and I'm seeing entrepreneurs coming out saying that this is their first time, feeling so proud about their country, to do business in their country. This is a revolution, and I believe that a revolution like this
completely support them.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré has built and commissioned the country's first ever gold refinery. He nationalized 2 gold mines in Bongo and Wagnion for $80 million, a significant reduction from the $300 million Endeavour Mining had agreed to sell them for. And clearly, this deal shows that Burkina Faso is getting a good deal. He approved the expansion of the Bobo Dioulasso Airport with an 80 billion CFA franc investment to modernize the country's second largest hub. He launched the country's first national support center for artisanal cotton processing. Don't forget, Burkina Faso is the largest producer of cotton in Africa. And let's not forget, he expelled French troops from Burkina Faso, officially ending the operation. He gave farmers and agricultural investors 400 tractors, 953 motorcycles, 710 motor pumps, and 10,000 tons of fish food, with 68,964 tons of fertilizer and 10,000 liters of products. He signed a treaty with Niger and Mali to establish the Alliance of Sahel States, the world's only confederation. He removed French as an official language, adopting local languages as official language. He supplied the Ministry of Health with 15 mobile clinics, 36 vehicles, 3 oxygen units, 11 cold rooms, 835 tablets, and 1,900 solar refrigerators, and so much more.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, he's been in the news again recently. Now, to explain this, I'm going to have to give you a little bit of a crash course in Burkina Faso history. So he took power of Burkina Faso in 2022 in what the Western media call a military coup, but what many Africans and many people in Burkina Faso call a revolution. You see, Burkina Faso was, it used to be anyway, a French colony. Now, it got its independence as the Republic of Upper Volta in 1960. However, the French never really went away. And like many other colonies that France had in Africa, they made Burkina Faso use their CFA franc, their French franc, which France doesn't even use anymore. And as a result of that, Burkina Faso had to go through French banks. And the French banks then could basically buy the resources from Burkina Faso at pennies on, well, the franc, which is quite a lucrative deal when you consider that Burkina Faso is Africa's 4th biggest producer of gold. And he made it his aim when he came to power to basically kick the French out and take control over the gold reserves in Burkina Faso. And guess what? It's exactly what he did. I mean, not only was it unfair that the French could basically have control over those reserves, buy the gold at a knockdown price, and have their French companies mine the gold and refine it and not pay any tax in that country whatsoever, but also they weren't giving back anything to the people of Burkina Faso. He didn't just take control of the mining though, oh no, he took control of the refining of it as well, built the factories, and this is him just a few months ago getting delivery of their first gold bars. But that's not all he's done in the last 3 years. He has completely and utterly revolutionised the farming industry and the agricultural industry in Burkina Faso. I've heard stories of them even giving students, agricultural students, all the land and the equipment and the seeds they need to start growing food for their own population. And while other dictators, if you want to call him that, the West certainly do, travelling the world by private jet, you know, fighting climate change, he's basically going up and down the country, meeting the people who are helping him change the course of Burkina Faso. This is him visiting 60 independent female Burkina Faso farmers who have been cultivating tons of different vegetables for their country. He's not just wiped out the entirety of Burkina Faso's foreign debt in just 3 years, he's also made all education 100% free in the country. He also cut the pay of ministers by 30%. There was a lot of corruption in Burkina Faso. But he's also increased the salaries of workers by 50% in that time. He's basically done more in 3 years than every one of the politicians in the UK have done in my entire lifetime. which is probably why democracy is coming for him by the look of it. These are the pictures of French, let's call them organic, protests calling for the arrest of Traoré because, get this, they say he's a dictator. No problem with Saudi Arabia or any of the other dictatorships around the world, but no, he's a dictator, the guy who's bringing food and farming and agriculture and wealth to his country. You know, they never do go to tell you that while it's true that Ibrahim Traoré cancelled elections in Burkina Faso a year or so ago, they never go on to tell you why. It's because the people didn't want the elections. They wanted him to stop in. He was doing such a great job. And where is it written in stone that every country around the world needs to be a democracy? I mean, I live in an apparent democracy. And it's shit. It really is. According to many reports that I've heard, there have been over a dozen assassination attempts or failed assassination attempts on this guy's life. And it's no wonder. I know a lot of you will be commenting below. I'm getting Colonel Gaddafi vibes here. So you would think that this guy would be scared, right, of, you know, the Western powers doing what the Western powers do. But he has something to say to them. Take a listen.
They will tell us, you know, Thomas Sankara tried to do it like this, but where is he? He is dead. The Haitian president, he tried to do it like this. Where is he? He is dead. Gaddafi tried like this. Where is he? He is dead. These are the veiled statements made to us to instill fear. If we remain in this posture of fear, we will be cowards, and history will judge us. Our children will ask questions. Our grandchildren will ask questions. We are writing history. There is no room for cowardice.
Amazing guy, right? Consider this. He's just 36 years old. Best of luck to you, mate. Best of luck.
Yes, guys, thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for your support. If this is your first time on this channel, kindly subscribe, like this video, share it out, and also remember to leave your sweet comment. Your comment is very much important to me. You guys, I don't take you for granted. You have seen these videos immediately after General Langley of the United States spoke about Ibrahim Traoré, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, or President Ibrahim Traoré, and an attempted coup ensued. You know, there's one thing that guys need to know. Burkina Faso is the 4th largest gold producer in Africa. It is the 4th with the highest gold reserves in Africa, and the highest producer of cotton. Do you know what this means? In fact, cotton, to most people who don't know, cotton, apart from making cloth or clothing materials, it is also used in the making of gunpowder. General Michael Langley is being the current commander of AFRICOM, has been very vocal about the challenges posed by misinformation. He is alleging that these are misinformation campaigns in the Sahel region. The Sahel region is the region around Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Most of the people are saying that this is not misinformation because some are seeing Captain Ibrahim Traoré as, especially the West are seeing Captain Ibrahim Traoré as a threat because of what he has been able to achieve within a very short period of time. And you can see he has done away with the French, and he is more inclined towards the Russia. So to the General Michael Langley is viewing this maybe as misinformation campaigns in the Sahel region perpetrated by some of these Sahel leaders. General Langley is attributing these efforts to external actors such as the Russia and China. And according to General Langley, he views these countries as spreading false narratives that are meant to undermine the United States' influence, and so that these narratives that are being spread can destabilize the region. He is emphasizing that the United States is not pressuring African nations to choose sides, but is instead seeking partnerships with countries that share democratic values. So this is what General Langley is most of the cases is saying, and as in the video you have seen, he is making allegations that Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, is enriching himself and his junta, the people who are in power with him. But this is not the case. Even though Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, got the power through a coup in the 2022, he, in most of what he's doing, is he comes out as a democratic person. In a few seconds or moments, I'll talk about why, in my view, I think he is democratic, and he is for the people. He's doing all these things to protect his country, and in most of his statements, is saying that their children and the great grandchildren are watching, and they'll judge them for the actions that they are taking now, because the actions that are being taken now are likely to interfere with the actions in the future. Most of the people say that Ibrahim Traoré is the interim president of Burkina Faso. This is because since he took over in 2022 September, and that was through a coup, no election has ever taken place. He took the power from his predecessor known as Paul Damibia. And this guy, Damibia, I think he was a puppet of the West. And this is what made, or what is making most of the citizens of Burkina Faso to really like Ibrahim Traoré, because he overthrew his former predecessor, who was viewed as kneeling before the West, most of the West, especially the France. So at his age, Traoré currently is 37 years of age. He is one, or is coming out as one of the youngest heads of state globally. If he is not the youngest, is one among the youngest head of states globally. Traoré has been very critical on Burkina Faso's previous leadership. And he has sought to distance the country from its former colonial power. France, that is France. His administration has also been associated with the rise of Alliance of Sahel states. This is Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. This regional bloc is aiming at addressing the security challenges in the Sahel. In the year 2024, December, Burkina Faso, along Mali and Niger, whatever you may call it, announced its withdrawal from the ECOWAS community, that is Economic Community for West African States. It cited dissatisfaction with the bloc's sanctions and lack of support for internal security issues. ECOWAS has set a transitional period from January 29th this year to July 29th this year. This transition period is for these three countries to exit from ECOWAS and form, I think they have already formed the Sahel, marking an unprecedented move in the bloc history. This is a big move for the three countries, because they are feeling that some of the countries in ECOWAS are leaning towards the West, and they feel that the West, especially Burkina Faso, they are feeling that the West have pondered them, they have discriminated them, and they have taken most of their resources. Just 2 years ago, on the 1-year anniversary of his coup, that is the coup of Ibrahim Traoré, because he got into power in September 2022. So in September 2023, Ibrahim Traoré announced plans to amend Burkina Faso's constitution. He criticized the current constitution for reflecting the views of a handful enlightened people rather than the popular masses. The proposed changes aim to make the constitution more representative of the general population, even though the specific details to this move or this constitution that he wants to be has not yet been disclosed. My prayer is that he will continue to involve the people of Burkina Faso. This is one of the things that can differentiate a person who is democratic and a dictator. Ibrahim Traoré is first loved by most people, or most of the citizens of Burkina Faso. Not only the citizens of Burkina Faso, Africa and the world, and globally he's loved. You can see from the video the white guy giving out the history of Burkina Faso and what exactly Ibrahim Traoré has been able to do. Burkina Faso continues to face significant security challenges due to the ongoing militant violence. Yeah, I say that around 40% of the country is under some of these terrorist groups, and that is how currently he's. In fact, this attempted coup that he has just, the 5th attempted coup that he has just survived. Some of these guys who are engaged in this coup came from some of these terrorist groups, and he is working across the clock so that he can ensure that he can bring the control of these terrorist groups down in the 40% of the country. In Burkina Faso continues to face significant security challenges due to the ongoing military violence. So far, Ibrahim Traoré has survived several assassinations attempts and around 5 coups since he came to power. In last year, January 2024, the Burkinabe government reported thwarting the 4th coup attempt involving both active and retired military personnel, as well as some civilians. Authorities allege that the plotters received foreign funding and aimed to destabilize the country. The recent attempted coup that has just happened in April 2025 is allegedly to have been planned by some terrorist groups in collaboration with some former soldiers and present soldiers. So this is a guy from the videos of what he is doing to the people. He is a pragmatic leader. He has done so many things to his people, and it is evident. Even some of the content creators, one of them being Wodemaya, who was in Ghana, and you can see in the video is very surprised to realize that Burkina Faso was only having 3,000 kilometers of tarmac road, and the tarmac road was during the period, the colonial period. From that time, or rather, ever since Captain Ibrahim Traoré has taken power, he is of the idea of coming up with around 5,000 kilometers of road each and every year. And you can see he has taken most of the equipments using the border of Ghana via Ghana. He has imported a lot of the equipments so that they can do different works in the infrastructure sector. He's coming up with the industries. He's established the gold processing plant and done away with the most of the West companies. He wants to make sure that Burkina Faso is in proper control and is properly run. This is different from most of African leaders. Most of African leaders only tend to mind about themselves. They tend to mind about their families and what to gain, irrespective of people wallowing in poverty or not having 1 or 2 developments. They just after themselves. Ibrahim Traoré is among few African leaders that we need to have. Africa should not have puppet leaders who are just after taking loans and making sure that the West are establishing themselves while Africans are in trouble. Some years ago, we had a leader known as Muammar Gaddafi, and it is sad that he was unalived when one of the presidents who was in power at that time has his roots in Africa, and specifically in where I'm recording this video, in Kenya. That is President Obama was the head of state at that time. And we're having our brother, General Langley. My prayer is that he will look keenly, and if the US is a democratic state. It should really find a way of not meddling with other people's businesses. So this has been the video for today. If this is your first time on this channel, kindly subscribe, like this video, and comment. It's raining cats and dogs. Maybe the sound is a bit, it's not that clear. Until next time, God bless.